be calling you a radical. So what's football's doing on the Swenson gym? They finally inducted Dick Motta about 50 years too late. This is the gym they played in. You know, what about Phil Johnson? So we're on a big one. So will Maxwell Anderson go in the draft today? So I get my steps in here. It's a great place to walk. There's a lot of old timers walking out here. And in the spring and the fall, in the winter and summer, I got a mall walk, open heart surgery for the second time, as you know, this year. So, cancer, cancer, cancer. Staying alive, staying alive. As Maxwell told me, he signed that for me. Will he be the next TJ? Taron Johnson. He reminds me of him so much. Just the highest paid nickelback in the history of, you know, why wouldn't they have him speak at graduation? Rain in the rain, logistics nightmare. So, why would they have Rashid Shaheed speak? Or I would have had our NBA first rounder. It's going to go in here. Dylan Jones, I would have had speak. So, I think he should get drafted today. His numbers are very much like Tron. I did the play-by-play sitting right there with Tron. They couldn't win Tron, but nobody wanted Taron Johnson. He's the highest paid nickelback in the NFL. Jay Hill, Maxwell Anderson. Ooh, those Anderson brothers. Well, Maxwell was a freshman. I did that play-by-play in San Diego when Rashid broke, you know, went to Tijuana to win it on his birthday. And so, but they called it back, 6-0. I think he broke the school record for tackles. I'm sure of it when he was a freshman. All I did was call Maxwell Anderson on the tackle. Maxwell Anderson on the tackle. So you think about it. Jonah Williams, nobody wanted him. Nobody. This horrible football program that Jay Hill turned around, Jay Hill gave him a scholarship. Nobody wanted Rashid Shaheed. The only scholarship offers he got. Taron Johnson, nobody wanted him. The only scholarship he got. You know, Adam Rodriguez, the only scholarship he got. You know, Mr. Opeta, he's playing for the Buccaneers now. Jonah Williams is playing for the Vikings now. Freaking Adam Rodriguez is tearing it up in the UFL. He could play in the NFL anytime he wanted. He says, he already did that. He says, I want to play. And so, will Maxwell be the new guy? Well, TJ got drafted. Both TJs. There was two TJs on this team. You forget about the linebacker played for the Cowboys and the Chargers. But the NFL in week 5, I played, or week 4, I don't know when, one of those weeks, played a clip, the top 5 plays in the NFL. 3 of them were from Weaver State. Jonah Williams with a long sack. TJ saves the game on knocking down a pass, which is his MO. That's what he does. He was never a big pick 6 guy. By the way, you know Bland, who set the NFL record for touchdowns in the history of that, you know, he played a sack state. He played on this field. He had an interception on this field, you know, on the death turf that ruined so many careers. Those guys played on the death turf. Got new turf now. It's bad coaches. So, all these Jay Hill players, how long will the NFL ignore them? Well, TJ did get drafted, you know, late, but he got drafted. Maxwell reminds me of him to a T. He's a technique guy, and his numbers prove it. You know, but Weaver State doesn't keep track of numbers very good. You know, they had Kevin Blanch when I ran the radio station, me and Manny Gonzalez. There's the radio station right there. Sold it off for $25,000 because the Board of Regents is degenerate here. And if you don't think they're degenerate here, you weren't paying attention yesterday. The greatest traffic jam in the history of the city. And the school of business that I used to teach at, #1 in the country, who they screwed me over so fucking hard. They could have paid for my cancer treatment. $1.8 million. They didn't. They could have done a lot of things for me. They blackballed me. They're under investigation by the FBI, and they specialize in logistics. So the greatest logistics nightmare in the history of the city happened yesterday on Chernobyl Day. This stadium is named after a woman. When they merged with GE and Utah Construction they merged in 97. This is the house. She donated $1 billion in well, 1975 Bunny. So you're talking the greatest nuclear industry. The parent was GE, not the parent was Utah Construction, not GE. Wattis became the CEO. She donated all of Mrs. D, Elizabeth D. Shaw, this only football stadium in the world named after a woman. Jamie Martin up there. I mean, Jamie was good. Don't get me wrong. I like Jamie, but top 10, yeah. What about TJ? What about Rashid Shaheed? Whoa. What about Trevon Smith? Trevon Smith was the greatest player who ever played here. Lee White played here on this field. Until what's his name from Ogden High who just passed away. Was that incredible player. Born and raised in Ogden. Oh, of course, look at Wat Masaka. Wat Masaka, born and raised in Ogden, Utah. Played at Weaver State, won 2 national championships. His number's not retired. Why do you yeah. Alan Holmes. That's Byron Russell's real father. He won national championships here. Yeah, Byron Russell's from here. Excuse me. Fuck, Byron Russell. Talk about a Freudian slip. Byron Scott. Sorry about that, Byron. I didn't mean to insult you like that. So, Brian Russell. Not Brian. It was a Freudian slip. I'm not perfect, but will he go in the draft today? I think so. I was at Pro Day. I'm always at Pro Day. They never draft these guys. Well, Rashid Shaheed making the league minimum. Pro Bowl. Undrafted. First time in history? No doubt. TJ, the #1 paid nickelback in the history of the NFL. What a marquee athlete. He should have spoke. That rain in the rain. Said the worst traffic jam in the history of Ogden and Weaver State School of Business. They promote logistics. And they had it on Chernobyl Day. The nuclear industry built this stadium. The nuclear industry built all this. The nuclear industry built the incredible D, that incredible Purple Palace in the merger. Billionaires made all over here on that merger. Utah Construction built up the nuclear industry, including the reactors at Seminole, including at Fukushima, Japan. People don't even know this, and they were the parent. As you know, I call it the Wattis curse. They ever won a national championship on this campus? No. And somebody says, oh, that's not a sport. I'm talking basketball, football, these real sports. They've never won a national championship, basketball, football, since they moved up here. They did downtown Ogden. The football team. The football team's been around since 1921, I believe. Wildcat Morris. People don't even know that. So I think Maxwell will get drafted today. I'm hoping. And I think he reminds me of. So Pro Day right there. I was over there at the facility. And no one ever goes. I never seen someone go. I had to stand clear in the freaking back. You couldn't even see and get in. It was that packed with NFL scouts. Kind of like NBA. Why wouldn't last night at graduation on Chernobyl Day at the house of the nuclear bill and their logistics under investigation by the FBI? Look it up. How do you go from #1 school business when Kevin Blanch ran the fucking show and they blackball me to this? I mean, it's a clown circus. It's dead last from first. Well, that's the football team. Jay Hill turned this nightmare around and they're top 10 team in the country last year. Preseason. They won 1 home game all year. Abraham Williams, who will no doubt play in the NFL. He's at Idaho. Jack Kelly, he's at BYU. He's an NFL guy. How about Heckard? He left here. He's BYU. He'll go in the draft. He might have went yesterday. I don't know. He's from here. They're all Jay Hill guys. So keep ignoring them. Is that era over? Yeah. Yep. That Jay Hill era is over. He's at BYU now, and the last of his recruits. There's a couple left here. Sharp's still on the field, but the last of his recruits, and she's all that, Sharp is Sharp, they hit the transfer portal. You know who needs to hit the transfer portal? Same with the basketball team. I mean, what a disappointment this year. I mean, heartbreaking. Well, what a metaphor. They have the graduation in the house the nuclear industry built, the Wattis curse, the Purple Palace, on Chernobyl Day, and caused the greatest logistics fucking traffic jam in the history of the city, bar none, 10 hours. And they never told anybody that 89 was closed. And they had Rain going to speak. Why wouldn't they have Rashid Shaheed speak? Why wouldn't they have TJ speak at the graduation? Highest paid nickelback in the history of the NFL. Here, people don't even know who he is. What a story his is. Maxwell Anderson maybe he could have spoke. How about your Arthur Ashe 4.0 winner who's going to be a first rounder in the NBA? Well, no, he's busy. Dylan Jones, why didn't he speak? I hope his family didn't get caught in traffic last night and miss it. So, all right, Maxwell, I'm rooting for you, buddy. I believe in you. Well, it's not even I believe in you. I watched. If you don't, nobody promoted Rashid Shaheed harder than Kevin Blanch did. Nobody. Nobody. Of course, Rashid's got, I'm sure he's busy trying to ward off gold diggers. I imagine he's got 10 million of them. He's a celebrity now. Nobody even knew his fucking name here. You know, I promoted him. I'm the guy that started the chant over there. Get the fucking ball to Rashid. You know, us hardcore fans, you know, we knew. So, Maxwell, he's the man. I'm telling you, he's NFL material. Collins is down at BYU now. So is Jack Kelly. So, anyway, Heckard, DBU. I always got to tell this because Andre Dyson is the DB coach. He's fantastic. Jay Hill, the DB. So Jay Hill and Andre Dyson played together at the University of Utah on that McBride team in the late 90s. Why are they such great DB coaches? I mean, you're talking the two best DB coaches in the country, Jay Hill and Andre Dyson. They played together on the University of Utah team in the late 90s. Well, you know who they used to have to go out and practice every day? The greatest player in the University of Utah history. Whew, how would you like to freaking go at that dude every day? Arms like tree trunks, not that big. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? Steve Smith. Yeah, they used to have to go with Steve Smith. That's who they had to play. Can you imagine having to freaking defend him in practice every fucking day? How's he not in the fucking Hall of Fame? Oh, fuck. So, DBU, as we call this here, you know, because of Jay Hill, the great DB. Andre Dyson, still coaching here. He's born and raised here, the great DB in the NFL. You know, DBU. So, Andre's still here. I mean, he wouldn't have took the head coach. I don't think he's the shit. And, you know, but Coach Myers, I think, should have got it. But anyway, whatever. So it's pretty sad we got to read for BYU. Jack Kelly will be in the NFL. He's at BYU now if he can stay healthy. Abraham Williams is at Idaho. There's no doubt. I mean, 4.2 guy? That's a 4.1 guy. He ran right in that building. He doesn't even run track. He ran the 60, the fastest 60 they've been running that building, an indoor track in 35 years. Yeah, he's at Idaho now. So go. He's a DB. Yeah, transfer from a quarterback. DBU. So Heckard. Here, Jay Hill guy. Maxwell. Here. And these are every single guy that I just mentioned, every single one of them that I just mentioned. The only scholarship they got was from Jay Hill. He won. One day people are going to wake up and say, this has got to be the greatest freaking eye for talent in history, and they let him get away. Very sad. What he did here is legend, you know. So, oh, look at that. Geese on top of the freak. I got to get over there. There's some geese on top of the bell tower. Stay tuned.